Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
What's up? This is El Presidente.
Oh, this is
You
your boy, gospel icon, my Harold Peoples Jr.
It's Lady, also known as Leah, and you're now watching.
And you're listening to Speaking Plain English.
in the Speaking Plain English with your host Roberta on
Your beautiful hostess, Roberta Johnson.
With my homegirl, Roberta, on Praise.fm.
On Praise FM.
on Praise FM.
Hey, hello, happy Saturday, and welcome to another episode of Speaking Plain English. I am your host, Roberta Johnson, and before we get into anything, anything, whoever's watching. First of all, actually, before we do anything else, I want to welcome everybody. I want to welcome our viewers from YouTube. Welcome Praise FM. Welcome Facebook. Welcome Roberta's Recommendations. Welcome Instagram. Did I forget anybody? If I forgot you, I didn't forget you. But welcome. Oh yes, I did forget. Like the audio only listeners, welcome to all of you. Thank you for watching. If you are here, please do me a favor and just say hello. So yeah, like I said, I know you're here and I can say hello back. All right, so that's all of that, all the welcomes. Before we go any further, I need this. So I need y'all to do this with me. Whether you feel like you need it or not, that's okay. It'll always do you some good. So because of the topic, one of the topics that we have, because if you see the topic that I have for today, which we'll get into in just a minute before I do the announcements, the topic of discussion for today has been tested. So therefore, what we're going to do is we're going to take a few deep breaths, okay? So feel free to either with me, just inhale and exhale. And again, inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. One more time, inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Okay, I think I'm all right. I needed that. I don't know if anybody else needed it, but I did. If you did, whether you're watching, the replay or you're watching live and you needed that, let me know that you needed that because I certainly did. So let's get into hey, Joanne, I see you with the comments, girl. Let's get into the announcements really quickly. Where do I want to start? Okay, so Black authors, artists, and business owners. If you are in any of those categories and you would like to either be a guest on the show or you would like to have a product, a body of work that you have worked on, that you've completed, that you worked on, promoted on the show. Like I said, either if you want to be a guest or if you want to, promote an event or a product or anything on the show, feel free to let me know. And you can either comment here or you can let me know on the DMs or however, or you can send me an email at doyh.marketing@gmail.com. And that way I'll be able to, link up with you and see what you got going on and let's see what you can do. All right. Also, by way of announcement, I want to call it Praise Fest Tour. I definitely want to call it Praise Fest Tour because I mean Praise Fest is happening everywhere. Basically, we've been in the Bahamas. There was one in Tampa. There was there was just one last week in Vegas for Stellar Week that I heard was amazing. So I didn't get to go, but I heard it was amazing. So we're actually doing a Praise Fest in New Jersey, in Newark, New Jersey. And it's going to be in September. So before we give, like I said, I'm going to give y'all more details as things come together. But just so you know, we are looking for sponsors. We are looking for vendors. And we are also looking for independent gospel and inspirational artists. So if you are interested in being one of those, or if you have any, questions about anything, you want to assist, you want more information about it, or any of those things, just hit us up, let us know, leave a comment, leave a DM, all those great things, messenger message and all that stuff. All right. Okay, guys. So we're going to get into today's topic. And I have today's topic titled as, let me get it. Nope, that's not where it is. I have it as hold on to your peace. And I'm not going to get into all of the details of why that tested me today, but I am going to just say this. I'm noticing, especially a lot of social media is very, very tense right now. Due to there's just so much going on. Like there's so much from the political world to the murders and things that are going on, the missing children, the basically the biggest one as of now, the murder of Sonia Massey. That bothered me so much, and it still bothers me. I have so many questions about that, and I just know anyway. So many questions about that, but that and all of the deaths that have been happening. I don't know about anywhere else, but I know New York has been taking hits all month. Like it's becoming. My sister said it actually. She's saying, and I agree. And I'm gonna be honest. Like all of the people who who have been leaving here as of lately, I can't say that like out of all of them, I didn't know any of them personally. However, I do recognize how a lot of them have been have played a major role in the gospel music world and in church, in the church world as well. I believe there were six or seven within the time. I want to say like a couple of weeks within the time span of like 2 weeks to 2 to 3 weeks. There were just back to back deaths that were just, posted. And there's just a lot, there's a lot going. And that's just, that's just the stuff that is happening in in front of our eyes. That's just the stuff that's happening. Hey, mama. That's just the stuff that is happening, for all to see. Because like I said, like it's everywhere. As soon as you log on, somebody else is left. Hey, Cherise, how are you? Miss you too, hon. So it's just one after one after one after one after one. And again, with all of these things being, in the mix and chaotic, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. And honestly, I feel like there's just so much tension. There's just so much heartbreak, so much frustration that it can be like people are out here arguing about, who they're going to vote for as president and this, that, and the third. Let me explain something to y'all. I don't understand this. I really do not understand this. the way somebody views something, if you don't agree, then you just don't agree. Like, I'm hearing people talking about, if you voting for this person, then I'm cutting you off, or if you say such and such, I'm cutting you off. How about going back to agreeing to disagree? We may have a difference in opinion. We may feel like one thing, is better. Somebody else may feel like the other option is better. And honestly, like, the candidates aren't making it any better either. None of them. So my thing is this, like, there's just so much chaos, and we do understand that, we do understand that usually when it does come to presidential election time, we do end up having, there's a lot of chaos that goes on, and that's understandable. But I'm going to submit to myself and to all of you, because one thing that I didn't mention is, in addition to all of that that's going on, we got our own stuff that we're dealing with. Our own personal things that we're dealing with, you know what I mean? In addition to all of the stuff that is right in front of our faces that are just blaring at us. And again, I'm going to say this probably every time I come on. Anything that I say, anything I say to anybody, anything I say on any platform, I'm talking to me first. And, like I said, today has been one of them days that has really, really tested this. And I'm like, God, really? For real? But it is important that we do everything in our power. We do everything that we can to maintain and hold on to peace. Hold on to our peace. Hold on to God's peace. Because first of all, if we're in a frenzy, if we're out here being, chaotic and everything and feeding into everything, we are not able to make the decisions that we need to make. You know what I mean? We're not able to think straight. Think about it. Something as simple. I'm going to make this very, very, it's a little comical, but tell me I'm lying. So, see, there's no need for that. There's no need for that at all. There's no someone unfriended me because I'm Team Blue, Cherie said. There's no need for that. Like, okay, if you have a difference in opinion, then you have a difference in opinion. And that's just what it is. That's why there's more than one party. Am I going to give my opinion? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because how I feel about everything, matter of fact, I'm not going to say it today. Maybe one day I will, but not today. Because how I feel is how I feel, and that's nobody else's business. I remember a time, to be perfectly honest, where it was unethical to talk about politics. I remember a time where it was deemed as unethical to talk about politics. It was something else. It was politics and something else. Exactly, my guess on that. Oh, that's another thing that we gotta stop. We have to remember there are more than two parties. I've been saying that for ages. Just because the red and the blue are the only ones that they amplify does not mean that there aren't other options. And I really, really wish people would actually take the time to look at them. And then people say, oh, well, there's more, that's the waste of a vote. But anyway, there's options. That's all I got to say about that. There are options. So as far as that goes, but what I was about to say was, like, something as simple as, I know me, like, and we're talking about what can happen and what can go wrong when you are not peaceful, right? So think about this. I don't know about you, but I know when I have to use the bathroom really, really, really bad, like really bad, I can't think straight. It's frustrating. It's chaotic. And all I can think about is, I need to hurry up and get to this bathroom before everything comes out everywhere. And you know what I'm saying? And it's don't be in the car. And don't be somewhere where you can't, don't be somewhere where you have to wait and you have to hold it for a while and you've been holding it for a while, like you stuck in traffic somewhere. Or don't be somewhere where you're having to wait. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this. If something just as simple as that, and I tell people, like, if I have to, sometimes people try to talk to me, like even my kids or whatever, I'm like, don't say nothing, just wait. I can't think straight. Like my kids try to ask me questions sometimes. If I have to use the bathroom, I'm like, wait a minute, just wait a minute, wait till I come out, wait till I come out. Because I can't think straight. I cannot make any solid, and I cannot make any educated decisions while I'm in that much of a panic. You know what I'm saying? So if something that simple can be frustrated and we're not able to make intelligent decisions like that, think about what it is, how it can be when we're all, when there's so much chaos going on. You know what I mean? Like, again, like the politics thing is just one part. It's just one part of it. Like, there's a lot of people who are going through a lot of things. And again, like there's like we keep seeing posts about kids going missing, adults too going missing. We keep seeing posts about people dying. We keep seeing, all of these different things. And if we're not careful, we can make it worse. I would rather, I'm going to get to y'all comments in a second. Thank y'all for coming in. Hey, D. If we're not careful, and I'm not even just talking about us as those who are, children of God. I'm talking about just human beings. If we're not careful, we can feed into it so much to the point where we're no longer, again, like there are people that have been saying that because of their own opinion about things, people have decided to, cut people off. You don't know what people are dealing with. You don't know what people are going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, like all of these things that are happening all at the same time, it brings chaos. It brings a whole world of tension, and it just makes things feel crazy. And nothing, like when we're in a space like that, we cannot make any intelligent decisions. We cannot make any intelligent decision. It can make us go crazy. You know what I mean? All of that stuff just coming at you time after time after time after time, again after again after again after again. And I think I did mention earlier, like with the deaths and stuff, like my sister was saying, it feels like 2020 again. Because there's just a lot. And again, like I said, I didn't know a lot of them personally. And then let's also deal with the fact that let's going back to 2020. Some people are still grieving from then. So all of this that is happening, all of this that is going on, it's very, very vital. It's imperative that we do everything in our power to maintain peace, to keep the peace within ourselves. Because one, we don't want to add to it. Two, we want to make sure that we're okay. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that we're okay. First and foremost, we want to make sure that we're okay. And then if we find that there are others out there that are feeding, fuel in the fire, we're able to find ways to de-escalate things. Like, hold on, it ain't gotta be like that. It doesn't have to be this deep. I'm gonna get to some of these comments, and I'm gonna get y'all. I'm gonna give y'all some. We'll just get to the comments in a second. So Cherise says, true, but we have to use our power of persuasion because some people really don't know. So in that, I'm gonna say, this is what I'm gonna say to that. Yes, that is true that everybody doesn't know. However, everybody has most people, I can't say everybody, but most people have the option. Like, this is my thing. Don't try to persuade anybody to do anything. And this is how I feel in general about everything. You can lay everything out on the table. You can let everything, you can lay everything out on the table so that people can be completely educated about everything so that they can make the decision on their own. I don't like the persuasion. I don't like that. I don't like how people are trying to persuade anybody to go from one way or another, or saying, condemning people for what they decide. You know what I'm saying? Calling people out of their names and trying to demonize them for either way. Because I'm seeing it on both ends. And I'm like, and what's even sad is there are even like, oh, I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to do that. But yeah, I am. Yes, I am. People who are of high influence, people, ministers, actors. Like my thing is this: if you want to tell where you're at with it, then that's all well and good. But my thing is just inform. There's a difference between trying to be persuasive and and just giving information. There's a difference. You feel me? There's a difference. And I'm one of them type of people. Don't push me too hard to try to do nothing. Don't do it, because I'll feel like if you're trying to shove anything down my throat, something's up. And I don't trust it. That's just me. That's just me. So my thing is, I'm not that type of person. Even when it comes to being a lover of Christ, I'm not pushing nothing down anybody's throat. I'm not saying what you have to do to anybody. All I can do is show you my experience, live life the way that God wants me to, and leave it there. People will have interest. People will find interest. And they have asked questions. I don't have to wear a whole t-shirt that says I am saved. You know what I'm saying? Across my chest. It shows in my lifestyle. To the point where, yes, people have asked questions and have wondered. Like, there's something up with you. There's something different about you. Not saying that I've been perfect all the time. Absolutely not. But at the same time, what I will not do is I'm not pushing anything down anybody's throat. Jesus didn't even do that. God doesn't even do that. He gives us a choice. Listen, one thing that I find so cool about God is that he gives us options. He gives us options, and that's what love is. Love isn't saying you have to do this. This is how you need to do it, and if you don't, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Or no, I'm not even gonna say that. You have no other choice but to do things this way. You have no other choice but to do things this way. God doesn't even do that. What he does is he gives you the instructions. You can either do it or you don't. If you do it, you get this. If you don't, you get this. And that's just what it is. And that's how I feel like life should be. And when it comes to anything, that's love. Anything that anybody tries to push on you and try to force you to do, that's not love. That's not operating in love. And that's what we should be about as people, as human beings. I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to agree with you. But at the same time, and then on top of that, I'm not even saying that I agree with some of the things that are options. I don't have to agree with the options, but guess what? It's still somebody else may. And whatever happens from there is what happens from there. But that's not for me to push onto anybody or force onto anybody. That's just me. You know what I mean? So again, let's get into these comments. So D says, politics and religious beliefs are topics that should be approached very carefully or avoided altogether. I honestly, I remember a time, and I was saying this earlier, that was something that was deemed as disrespectful to actually bring up in conversation. I remember, this was, I guess this was before, I think that was etiquette, it was proper etiquette to not get into conversations about religion and politics in certain areas. I think it was like in like at work or in school and things like that. Like there were just certain places that those types of conversations are not necessarily to be had. And the reason for that, and I understand the reason for that, because of what we're seeing. Not everybody can handle it. Not everybody can handle having a difference in opinion of somebody else. It's not the end of the world if I see things differently than you do. It's really not. And once we understand that what we view is not the end all be all, then that should help everybody be better. And at the end of the day, if we operate and if we live and if we move, and I'm not even just speaking to those who I'm not even just speaking to followers of Christ. And the reason why I say that is because his morals, his way, God's way, are, it's a moral standard. Regardless of who you think is right religion wise, every one of them respect Jesus. Every one of them respect God's way. They all do, because they see how his walk when he was on the earth he walked in love, and he wasn't here to be judgy. He was here to tell you the truth, but he wasn't forcing nothing. He's giving you the option and letting you know, like, this is how we should do things. And if we're supposed to be like him, then that's how we do things. And guess what? That's why he was so cool and so peaceful. Y'all, I'm gonna put a plug in right quick for this show called The Chosen, right? I love how they depicted Christ in that show, because he's just so, like, he's human. Like the way that they have him, just how he moves and how he talks and how his mannerisms, like it really it humanizes Christ as he walked on the earth. And it really gives us a good idea of how things were and what he dealt with and how our example should be. Real quick, I'm going to go through some more of these comments and then we're going to go to commercial. All right. Cherie says, I just taught my Korean friends at the nail salon what Project 25 is. Everyone was Googling and speaking in their language. So yes. So if you're not aware of what that is, and this is what I mean by educating, put that out there. You know what I mean? Look at those types of things. Like Project 2025 is one. There's some others. Like look up and see what each candidate stands for and what they plan to do and what their plans are. Like do all the research and do all of that stuff and make your decision from there. Sharice also says, we as a people need to learn how to extend the grace that we hope we never need. I love that. Extend the grace that we hope we never need. The past is the past and redemption is forever present. Absolutely. And then she says, you're right, Robert Pitt. I should have said inform. And she says, no, I don't demonize. D says she agrees. I don't remember what it was that I said. Sorry. Sharice says, devil's advocate. Isn't the role of a salesman to persuade people? Yes. The role of a salesperson is to persuade people. However, isn't that for selfish reason? Usually when somebody is trying to sell you something, they're doing it, I can't say always, but for the most part, it's because they're getting something out of it. That's the most part. Or they can, but yes, I'll just put it like that. As a salesperson, that is their role. That is their role, to persuade people to do what they want them to do. And that's not the right approach. Depending on what it is that you're, depending on what it is that you're doing. Yes, you want them to, and with people who are in sales, I said I was going to answer these later, but matter of fact, I'm going to take a break real quick and then we'll go back to that. All right. Alrighty.
Your grandfather drove this? My dad told me he was gonna fix it over me.
This is the way he left it. Like everything else.
You are my son, but I'm giving you 1 month to find a job, or you can find one of your little friends that's gonna let you sleep on their couch for free.
Can I help you?
I'm just trying to talk to a young lady right here.
I need for you to leave my shop right now.
I'm gone. And I won't be back either.
That's something right there your father would do.
Well, I ain't him.
You acting like him. Boy, it's hard for a woman to call out the man and her son. I just need some prayer support.
I'm just trying to see about a job, right? I ain't hit about nothing. What, you a salesman for this company?
I'm the president. That's for more.
A big part of becoming a man is showing up. Can you do that, Isaiah?
You made all these promises.
When my sister tells me that she needs prayer support, honey, I bring prayer support.
Am I in the right place? Miss Clara! We pray that the Lord will open Isaiah's eyes so that he could see himself the way that the Lord sees him.
You're 50 minutes early.
Hey, try not to be late again.
I want to introduce you to a small group of men that mean the world to me.
We grow together, we eat together. It's one of the most important things I've ever done in my life.
God has forgiven me so much. Who was I to refuse to forgive?
Okay, Jesus, I give it to you.
What kind of man do you want to be? And what do you want people to think when they see you coming?
You only got 6 of us, 7 including Emmett. I'm willing to go the second mile. We can't just walk out and do nothing. Let's roll.
If I may be blunt, a man stands in front of me. Isaiah, welcome to the forge.
Now that is good. Miss Claire, I need you to come by here more often. Keisha needs you.
All right, and we are back. Doesn't that look like a good movie? I'm excited about that one. That's I'm excited about. All right, so getting back to Sharice's question. In case you didn't see before, Sharice asked, isn't the role of a salesman to persuade people? One thing that we have to remember is that we're not supposed to be the best. I'll put it like this. What salesmen do, in a nutshell, they try to tell you why their product is the best product, why what they have is the best, and basically the only option. Okay. Now, I get where you're going. But a good salesperson, what they'll do is they'll actually give variety. They'll give options. They won't try to say, well, this is the only, this is the best, this is that, and the third, regardless of whether or not it is. Regardless of whether or not that's actually, it is the best product. But like I said, people like me, when you try to push something on me and like push it in front of my face and tell me that I have to have this and this, you know what I'm saying? That makes me very skeptical. And to be honest, that's part of the reason why I had so many questions growing up in church, because of the approach. If I did not get to know God for myself, if I did not get to know Christ for myself, because of a lot of the way things were done and were said and the approach, I probably would have left a long time ago. And sad to say, there are a lot of people who are doing just that because of the approach. We have to do better. We have to do better. So I hope that answered your question, Sharice. And mommy says God created variety. Exactly. What's wrong with us? We're selfish. That's what's wrong with us. We're selfish, and we believe that for some reason or another, do I have my water? We believe, it seems like we have a tendency to believe that everybody has to do things our way, and everybody has to do things like I said. And honestly, I'm gonna say it like this. I believe that the problem for the most part is that we're not really paying attention to, and I'm talking about, I'm talking about again, talking about followers of Christ. We're not paying attention to God's mission. We're not paying attention to his approach. We're not paying attention. We've lost his heart. We're so focused on get the people in, get the people in, get the people in, get the people in, that we're not focused on not everybody is going to like fear tactics. That doesn't work on everybody. And not only does it not work, but that's not a good I don't want to do something just because I'm afraid of it. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want, there are a lot of people, and I remember growing up, there were so many questions that I had about church. And my thing is, and I've heard people say, it doesn't matter how you get them in, just get them. Like, even if you have to scare them. No, because then what are you doing? You're scaring somebody into something that they don't even know if they're actually what they want to be a part of. They're doing it because they're afraid. They're not developing, and God doesn't want anybody, and God don't want no robots. He wants a relationship. God is the only being that has a right to be a dictator, and he doesn't want it. Think about that. God is the only being that has the right to be a dictator and has the capability of being a dictator, but he doesn't even do that. He doesn't even take that approach. What does that say about the rest of us? What does that say about the rest of us? Cherie says, options and choices are the way of the world, but if you're knowledgeable in something, it should be shared with persuasion, but not with threat or force. I think that's where the difference is. If I want better for you, I'm going to do my best to persuade you to make the best choice, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. No love lost. See, I understand. I understand that. My thing is, I'm going to say, here are your choices. This is what could happen if again, just like what God did. These are your choices. Matter of fact, why do you think that tree was placed in the garden? Why do you think the tree was placed in the garden? Because he could have easily just not put the tree there. You feel me? He could have easily just been like, now I'm going to make sure that they do everything that I want them to do. But who wants a relationship like that? You hear me? Like that, he gave the option of choice. And he did it because he loves us. Because that's why God is love. That's why God is love. Because you talking about The Chosen Mom? Yeah, I love that show. God is love because he's the perfect example of love, because what he does not ever do is force anything. He always gives us a choice. But at the same time, he informs. And I'm not even going to say that he does it, because there's a scripture, I forgot where it is, but I've given you everything that pertains to life and godliness. And then there's another scripture that's saying, oh gosh, it's left me. But basically he's saying, you have a choice to do this, you have a choice to live, or you have a choice to die. If I were you, I'd choose life. You don't have to. You have an option to not. But I'm telling you, I think this is the better option. This is here. This is what you got going. This not only is this is what you have the option to do, but this is what will happen if you do this. This is what will happen if you do that. But he does not say, you're going to do this. You're going to do that. Even when it comes to our purpose in life, he can only do what he wants to do in our lives if we give him the yes. If we give him the surrender, we have to surrender in order to allow that to happen. D says, and then forcing ideas or opinions on people causes rebellion. Absolutely. God definitely gives us free will. He doesn't push himself on us. Exactly. He wants us to come to him willingly. And mommy said, she wants to see the movie. This is it, mommy. This is it right here. Disciple people, not manipulate. That's it. That's the assignment. That's the assignment right there. That is the assignment. Show people what their options are. Show people that they actually, like, listen, do all the research you want to do. I'm all for that. Go and do all the research that you need when it comes to any and everything. When it comes to any and everything, do all the research you need to do. Do all of the research that you need to do to make the decision that you feel is best. And on top of that, I'm going to say pray about it too. First and foremost, God, lead me to what I need to do. So going, taking all of that back to the meat of the topic, we won't be in the right state of mind to do any of that. We won't be in the right state of mind to make any wise decisions, any wise choices, doing any kind of research in regards to anything if we don't have ourselves, if we're not peaceful, if we're in chaos. Sometimes what's necessary is taking a break from everything and everybody. Take a moment, log off of your social media for a little bit. Log off, turn off the news for a little bit. Get somewhere and work on something that you've been, work on your purpose. Get somewhere and just sit with God for a little bit. And ask him to clear your head and your thoughts and your mind. And I'm taking this for me as well. Ask him to clear your head and your thoughts and your mind from all the chaos. From all of the chaos. Yes, ma'am. Hey, Lady Rain, how are you? The topic is scrolling across the screen. It's hold on to your peace. That's the topic. That's the topic. So again, I'm almost done, y'all. Like there's so much. There's just so much going on. So much going on, and we all, honestly, we all really, really, really need God's peace. We need to all take a minute. Like, honestly, we need a minute and to just shut off for a little bit, to disconnect, unplug for a little bit. Like I said, sometimes in some cases, I understand with, some businesses and things, social media is your bread and butter. And I get that. But you know what you can do? Plan ahead of time. Plan some time where for content creators and those people who have to have content out in a certain, like daily or a certain amount of, there's an option, and I'm glad that they do. There's an option where you can actually schedule your stuff. So create your content, schedule it, and turn off for a little bit. Because, and let's get back to life. Let's reset. Let's remember what and who is around us on a daily basis, because these screens here give us, they can bring on so many emotions, and it can be a lot. Like lately, honestly, and I don't know if it's because of all of the stuff that's just happening one after another. I don't know if it's that, or if I'm getting old, or you know, or what it is. But I'm noticing that I'm having a very, very, like, Facebook and Instagram are becoming very overstimulating. They're very, yeah, overwhelming is another word. So yeah, they're becoming overwhelming and overstimulating. And the thing is, I don't know if it's Al, Al G Rhythm. Yeah. I don't know if it's that him, or if it's, I don't know. But whatever the case may be, it's a lot right now. And I don't know if I'm not, if I'm the only one that's feeling that way, but it's a lot. And I know one thing, for I don't need nothing else that's going to jack up, try to mess up my brain. I don't need that. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. So again, sometimes we need to back away for a minute. Back away for just a minute. Take yourself, take some time and just be away for a little bit. Get your thoughts together, get your mind right, get your things, you know what I'm saying? Declutter. Declutter your mind, declutter, your atmosphere, your environment, and just to declutter and to get all of this off so that you can actually approach things at a more logical, and not even just a logical, but because emotions are great. Emotions and logic are supposed to work hand in hand. But if we got so much stuff that is, causing us to be overly emotional being thrown at us, again, like I said, with these deaths, especially in New York, these deaths have been crazy. And again, like I said, people are still grieving over the past few years. And still got stuff, their own stuff, in life. And for people who are able to kind of feel other people's pain, what? What? So I got to deal with my stuff, my circle stuff. Like people who, may come to me for advice, or, to vent, or because they got stuff going on, their stuff. And everybody else's stuff too. Everybody else's grief. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot. That's a lot. So it's very, very important that we take some time. If we get to the point where we feel like, all right, this is too much. This is just a lot. This is too much. Take a week. Mama said it. Mama say, Mama sa, manakusa, or makusa. What did Michael say? Whatever Michael said. Inner peace is precious and it's priceless. It's priceless. There is nothing like being able, and that's what God, this is what God wants for us. That's why he told us to cast all of our cares on him, because he cares for us. And on top of that, he tells us that he's got peace that passes all understanding. In other words, peace that makes absolutely no sense. When everything all around us is going nuts and everybody is in a panic, we chilling. We chilling. Able to make our moves the way that we need to make our moves. Able to be a light in darkness. To be joy, the voice of joy. And for those of you who saw Inside Out 2, Somebody to be the voice of joy when there's nothing but anxiety, when anxiety is going crazy. So we need that. We need to be able, we need people. There are some that I know, and I thank God for them, and I pray for them, that are able to maintain peace in almost all times. Like I'm not saying that they don't have their moments. Yes, they have their moments, as every human being does, but they know how to unplug. They know how to take some time. They know how to take some time, back away from everything and everybody, shut everything off for a little bit, get their minds right, get themselves together, and then come back. I love their capability of doing that, and I desire to be able to do that. And I'm working on being able to do that. I'm taking a piece of their books because it's necessary sometimes. Repeat that piece is priceless, or the part where what God's desire for us is to have the peace that passes all understanding. Whichever one. Whichever one. So I actually took a second. I'm glad I came over here. Hey, Nathan and Jody. So Nathan says, we don't even know if we can be there for someone or anyone will be there for us. The fabric is shredded, for the record. My thing is this. And that's true though. We can't necessarily always depend on somebody else being there for us. We don't know. So that's why it's important for us to maintain our own peace, because it very well may be the case. That makes so much sense, Nathan. Thank you. Because think about it. A lot of us who are the ones that people go to, a lot of the strong ones, don't get checked on. Because so many, like, the composure is, and that's why I say those who are able to do the unplugging and those who are able to, bring light in darkness and bring joy in anxiety, I pray for them. Like I pray for them daily, because I'm sure at times it does become a lot for them too, because there's always somebody pulling at them. So we're going to take a very quick break again, and then we're going to close out. I thank y'all for your feedback. I really do. This is really good, and I appreciate all of you. All right, be back in just a sec.
Have you ever wanted to host your own inspirational radio show? Have you been called to inspire and spread God's word? Please contact Alicia Rain for more info.
Are you interested in continuing your education, certificate, or degree that will prepare you for ministry and equip you in the marketplace? Come make Christ Central International University your home by registering to become a certified Christian published author, Christian life and career coach, chaplain, and get your bachelor's, master's, PhD degree. Visit us at www.myccu.online.
All right, peeps, we are busy. So that's basically all that I had for today. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna close this out in a prayer, because boy, do we need it. Do we need it? So let's go. God, we thank you so much for being a God who knows all, and a God who sees all, and a God who has our best interest at heart. I thank you for being our example of how it is that we should treat people, we should treat ourselves. I thank you for being a God that loves us. I thank you for being a God that loves us. You know every single detail about every single thing that is going on in our world. all of the tragedies that are happening, the wars that are going on, the shootings, the killings, the deaths, the grief, the disagreements, the chaos, God, everything that is happening that in our world and in our own personal and individual lives. You know every single detail about every single one of us, and you know exactly what it is that we need. So I'm asking that you help us to do our part to give our issues and give our ideas and give our thoughts and give our cares to you, because that's what you said you wanted us to do. You wanted us to give our care, not even just give them to you, not just bring them and hand them to you. You said that you want us to cast them on you. So stay where we are. You want us to stay in the position that we are in and toss them to you like an assist in a basketball game. You want us to toss them over to you, pass them over to you, so we don't have that weight on us anymore. God, we ask that you overshadow us with your peace. Overshadow us with your love and your joy, and help us to give us the instructions and give us the strategy and give us the clarity of thought and the peace of mind, so that we're able to hear what needs to be done, what we need to do, what our part is when it comes to our lives, our everyday lives, and when it comes to what we can do to impact this world. You've given each and every one of us that's here a purpose. And if there is anyone who is watching that does not know you, I ask that you prick their hearts, God, and I ask that you make yourself known to them and make yourself real to them. Show up in a dream, show up in a conversation, show up somewhere, anywhere where it will pique their interest, so that they will make the decision to come to you, get to know you, so that you can give them the choices to choose you. That I thank you, first of all, for the choice to choose you. Thank you for that being an option. Thank you for loving us so much that you even want us to have the option to do things whatever way it is that we can, but also with understanding that your way is the best way. Thank you for never forcing anything on us, so that we may come to you willingly. That's what I personally love so much about you. And I ask that you allow us to be able to be strengthened, strengthen our minds, strengthen our hearts, so that not only can we do what it is that you placed in us to do while we are on this earth, but so that we can assist other people while we do just that as well. Thank you so much for hearing us, for wanting us, for being our go-to. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, peeps. That is that for today. Thank y'all so very, very much for logging on to another episode of Speaking Plain English. Until next time.